Hi guys, sorry I'm late again. We're at the end of week 31 of taking 100 milligrams of sertraline to treat PPPD and CPTSD. I'm late because I've had yet another crazy weekend. I've been away in Margate and with a friend since Thursday night, came back last night, but I was so tired. I couldn't even think straight last night. I was really tired. We've just done a lot of walking. God, my hair's really blonde. It caught the sun. And yeah, I've been distracted because I arrived at the property to find that the toilet was backing up and having some sewage issues. So my partner ended up having to come down and help me sort it out. So there's a bit of like plumbing issues for a few days, which kind of ruined it a little bit, but my mind's just been on other things. I haven't had time to think about dizziness. However, on the Friday, we'd gone out I wanted to take my friend to there's lots of antique shops and I don't know if they call them this in the States, but emporiums. So it's kind of like Aladdin's caves. Just imagine like a warehouse just literally full of stuff, old and like vintage stuff and antiques. And the visual stimulation in there was crazy. And I was like, okay, this is actually quite mad. There was just so much to take in, but I did it. I was walking around there and I did feel wobbly and I was like scared I was going to bump into things. The wobbliness is still there. It's there. Anyway, I don't know if you've seen the latest recovery video from the Steady Coach. It's quite encouraging, isn't it, guys? There's more and more recovery videos coming out. But as I said to you in my last video, I'm kind of conflicted because before I discovered the Steady Coach, before I discovered Dan Buglio, I already knew about Claire Weeks, Dr. Claire Weeks. And if you don't know who that is, please look her up. She was a pioneer in the field of anxiety treatment and chronic symptoms, like physical symptoms. And her method is about acceptance and she sort of helped me to kind of deal with things. So I was using Claire Weeks' method before my dad got diagnosed, and then of course I ended up having to have the sertraline and all that stuff after that happened, after my dad passed away. But so I'd already known about Claire Weeks and had her method in my head all the time, and I even had her in my earpods because I'd walk around listening to her. And she's got books on Audible. I've already told you about her and whatever, but the principles are the same as the Steady Coach's and Dan Buglio's, except that the Steady Coach focuses more on trapped emotions and letting those out. And like I said to you last week, I was sort of struggling to know who to listen to, because I think, obviously Yoni is Dr. Yo, the Steady Coach. She knows her stuff. She's getting people better. She's not only an audiologist, but she's, aware of this mind-body stuff. And the way that she's seeing people get better is when they start to deal with the emotions. So I do trust her completely. But I think before I even met her, before our first one-to-one session, which was back in September 2021, I'd gone to her already knowing that this was stress caused, and that even though I had a true vestibular event, that it was stress and my nervous system was keeping it going. I just knew that. So I remember saying that to her and her saying, wow, that is so insightful, and you're way ahead of most people that get to me, because she said I usually have to spend the first couple of sessions convincing people they haven't got a brain tumour. But I'd already gone to her knowing that this was stress related. The problem I have with the dealing with emotions bit is that I know what's keeping me ill. I know what that is. And I don't want to go into that in detail because it's personal, but it's an external thing regarding a person that's still living, and I cannot change. I have no power or control over it. And it's a very difficult situation for me and for him. And I don't know how dealing with my emotions can help to get me better. All I'm thinking is that I have to tackle the here and now, which is kind of what Claire Weeks and Dan Buglio talk about. I think something just has to resonate with you deep down. And Claire Weeks did resonate with me, because she said, whilst finding the original cause of this nervous illness might be interesting, she's rarely seen it help anybody recover now. The patient is concerned with the way they're feeling now, not what may have caused this a long time ago. But Yonit, what I think I understand from what Yonit is saying, is she's saying that the emotion, not everybody has to deal with the emotions, clearly, not everyone does. Julie didn't, for example. If you have watched Julie's recovery video with Yonit, she didn't do any journaling or anything like that, but she'd already had an understanding of mind body before, so she kind of already knew what this was and wasn't so worried about it. But I think what Yonit is trying to say is that, and the difference is that Yonit is saying the things that stick, so the emotions that, the feelings and thoughts that stick to us, are the ones that we need to deal with. And she said, if you don't have any, sticky emotions, then perhaps you don't need to deal with it. And equally, Howard Schubner, the interview she did with Howard Schubner, I hope you've all seen that, because I found that really, really helpful. Dr. Howard Schubner said that you don't necessarily have to deal with the emotions. In fact, it's just turning down the fear. But then Yonit is saying, but if you don't deal with the emotions, yes, you might get better, but we want to prevent this happening again in the future. So the idea is that you try and process those emotions. So I know what my emotions are. I'm afraid for someone that I love, and I'm angry, and I have rage, and I know that they're the emotions that I can't process because they're too difficult. I'm a spiritual person. I have my faith, and that helps me to deal with grief. Because most of you are probably watching me knowing that I've lost both my parents and thinking, oh well, that's why. But actually, I don't think that is why. I know what happened to me. I know. And you kind of do. If you look deep down, you know what's happened. I've scared the life out of myself, basically, and my brain is terrified. And I've got this ongoing problem that I can't resolve because it's an external stressor. And I know this because I've been speaking to that person today, and my symptoms have gone sky high again. So, but I can't ignore that person because I love them, and they need me, and it's very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. So I'm having to sort of learn to put boundaries in place, be kind and compassionate towards that person, but I have to put myself first. I have to. Anyway, so that's that. So the way that I'm thinking of going here is not taking the steady coaches route, simply because I already know what I need to do, and I just need to calm down. I just need to put boundaries in place, and I know I need to exercise more and do more of the things that I love, and do the somatic tracking. I think that's an important thing. Doing the walking, doing the somatic tracking, being kind to myself, and just giving it time. And I'm not doing things to fix myself. I'm just being kind to myself and realizing that it's going to take time, and that's okay. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, I know several people in my real life that have had chronic fatigue, ME, all these kind of things, and it's taken them about 3 years as a rule to recover with therapy and medication and all the rest of it. I'm not having any therapy anymore. I'm just living my life and trying to calm down, and I'm trying to get as much sleep as I can. Anyway, so that's that. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I don't know about you, but I feel that sometimes opportunities come our way even if we don't look for them. And I don't know if this is a good thing, but someone messaged me that I used to work with and said a job's come up, and he said you'd be working with me, which I thought, okay, that's going to be good because it's someone I know. And he said there's just a couple of shifts going, and it's a pretty easy going company. It's doing what I did before, so it's a job I'm familiar with. Just give him a call. He's looking. He said I've already bigged you up, you know. He said he'd be mad not to take me on. So anyway, so I phoned this guy straight away and said, what do you need? And he said, well, I just need some shifts covering on a regular basis. And I told him a bit about me, and he pretty much gave me the job over the phone. It was the most relaxed interview I've ever had. But I'm starting tomorrow. So I said to him, this is the thing, because I'm not currently employed, I'm on disability at the moment, but I want to get well. I want to go back to work, and yes, I'm looking after the horses, and yes, I've got Margate to deal with, but I want to be working. I need to try that and try and be normal. And so I said to the guy, look, this is going to sound really weird. I said, but I've been ill since I had the vaccine, which is true, 2 years ago. Actually, it's over 2 years now, 2 years and 2 months. Not that I'm counting. Anyway, I said, I've not been well since the vaccine, and I said that I have dizziness problems and that I struggle sitting down for long periods of time, and well, actually longer than 5 minutes. But anyway, I said to him, I have a massager that helps me cope. I know this sounds ridiculous, but would this be a problem if I was to bring the massager to work with me and move around when I need to? And he said, no, that's fine. You do whatever you need to do. So I don't even care how weird I look. I'm just going to take it with me. And because I've got to be able to soothe myself, and the job that I'm doing can be fast paced, but I enjoy it. And it's the shift that I've been given is a quieter shift. It's 12 midday till 5 o'clock. It's a transport job, so the busiest times are usually like peak hours, like rush hour kind of times. So I'm thinking doing 12 till 5 is quite a good way to start. He's only going to give me a couple of shifts a week, so probably about 10 to 15 hours a week tops. But that helps me ease in gently to something. And I think I've got to try. And hopefully I can build up a good relationship with the employer. It's not something that I want to do forever, but it's just, again, something that I can do because I need the money right now. I've got all sorts of problems to pay for with the new property in Margate, which in fact should be earning me money at the moment, but it's not, it's costing me money. So it just makes complete sense. And that opportunity just came to me. So that's the universe's way of saying, you've got to try now. So I'm going tomorrow morning. I've got to be there at 10 o'clock to meet the guy. Now, I don't know if this is just going to be an interview type thing or if I'm going to actually have to work a full shift. So I don't know. And hopefully he won't think I'm too weird, because this is the thing, guys, we look normal, don't we? And we are normal, but we don't feel normal. So I just hope that I'm going to be okay. But I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm not even nervous. I'm actually looking forward to it. But, you know, and if I feel like I can't do it, then I won't push myself. I won't push myself. So that's happening tomorrow. How are you guys doing? Are you okay? I had a message from Juan. Hi, Juan. I'm glad to hear that you're improving slightly. It is just a matter of time. Once you have the knowledge of what this is and you know it's your nervous system and you can start doing all the things you need to do to calm down, it does get better. Nat, how are you doing? How are you doing, sweetie? Because you You were good, weren't you? And then you went down again. Julie, I hope you're okay. Jill, I hope you're okay. Steve, haven't heard from you for ages, so I'm assuming that the 150 was all good. Let me know, fella. Be good to hear from you. Yeah, and I hope Amanda, you know, hi. We're all in this together, guys. We just got to try and believe that we'll get better and keep watching these recovery videos. Yonit is doing a fantastic job at getting people to go through their stories. I'm saving them all for you in a playlist called Recovery Videos. So please watch that. And it gives us all hope, doesn't it? And you can see what, you know, the guy who last did a video, I can't remember what his name, Brock, that's it. So he's the latest update. He's the latest recovery video from Dr. Yo, and he'd had it for 2 years, which is how long I've had it for. And he didn't take meds. I think he got better within 6 months of finding the steady coach. And to be honest, I think if my dad hadn't have passed away, I probably would have done as well, because I already knew what this was. But my poor body is just so full of, I've still got that energy in me. And I don't know about you guys, but if you really pay attention to it and like in a somatic tracking way, just when you wake up in the morning, just check in with yourself, how am I feeling? But without being afraid, like being curious about it. Like I'll do that in the morning and I'll be like, oh, I can feel, I probably get like 5 minutes of feeling normal, and then I just feel the tension come straight away. Whether I'm looking for it or not, it just, Julie hit the nail on the head in her recovery video, and she said it's like body armor. It's like a suit of armor. You can feel it, just like this protection thing goes up, and it just feels like tension just searing through my body, but I'm not afraid of it, and I just get up and go about my day, and try and soothe and calm myself when I can. I think my breathing control's really good. So yeah, it's just a matter of time, I think, and learning how to cope with this stressor that is very much present in my life right now and on my conscience all the time. But it's not something that I'm in danger from. It's just something that I didn't ask for. It's like I need to be careful how I word this, because he is a good chance he might be looking at this. If you are, you know who I'm talking about, and I love you so much. And it's really, really hard, because I need to know how to deal with this, and protect myself and help you out at the same time. Anyway, I shall go now because I'm getting upset, and you don't need to see that. But yeah, we've all got stuff going on. We just need to be kind to ourselves and be honest with each other and keep communicating with each other, okay? I'm going to see you on Sunday. It would definitely be Sunday next week. I will be in Margate because I've got a plumber coming, or builder coming on the Monday. So I will be in Margate, but I won't forget you, I promise. I won't be there on a holiday. I'll be there on waiting for builders and things. Anyway, love you and leave you guys. Take care.